Today, we are diving into the captivating world of amazing coincidences. Prepare to be astounded as we unravel extraordinary stories that defy the boundaries of chance and challenge our understanding of the universe. The Titanic novel. In 1898, a novel titled Futility was published, written by Morgan Robertson. The book described the story of a massive ship named Titan that struck an iceberg and sank in the North Atlantic. 14 years later, the actual Titanic, which bore striking resemblances to the fictional Titan, met a similar fate on its maiden voyage. The Lincoln and Kennedy assassinations. There are several eerie coincidences between the assassinations of U.S. Presidents Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. Both presidents were shot in the head on a Friday while seated beside their wives. Lincoln was assassinated in Ford's Theater, while Kennedy was shot in a Lincoln car manufactured by Ford. Additionally, both assassins had three names: John Wilkes Booth and Lee Harvey Oswald, and were themselves assassinated before facing trial. The two brothers. In 1975, a man named Erskine Lawrence Eben was killed while riding his moped in Hamilton, Bermuda. 1 year later, his brother, who was also riding the same moped and following the same route, was killed in the same manner by the same taxi driver, carrying the same passenger. The coincidence of two brothers suffering the same fate in identical circumstances is truly remarkable. Struck by lightning 7 times. Roy Sullivan, a park ranger in the United States, holds the Guinness World Record for being struck by lightning the most times. Between 1942 and 1977, he was struck by lightning on 7 separate occasions and survived each incident. The odds of being struck by lightning in a lifetime are roughly estimated as 1 in 10,000. The probability of being hit 7 times would be 1 to 10,000 to the power of 7, or 1 in 10 octillion. The twin brothers reunited. In 2002, twin brothers who were separated at birth, Jim Lewis and Jim Springer, were reunited at the age of 39. Remarkably, they discovered several astonishing similarities in their lives. Both had been named James by their adoptive families, both had married women named Linda, divorced, and remarried women named Betty. They also shared other commonalities, such as similar occupations and hobbies. Miss Unsinkable. Depending on how you look at it, Violet Jessup was either one seriously lucky lady, or she was one seriously bad omen. The stewardess and nurse was on the HMS Olympic when it struck the HMS Hawk, she was on board the HMHS Britannic when it sank after hitting a sea mine, and she was also traveling on the RMS Titanic when it sank after hitting an iceberg in the North Atlantic. No wonder she later became known as Miss Unsinkable. The man who survived 2 atomic bombs. On August 6, Tsutomu Yamaguchi was in Hiroshima on a business trip. As I was walking along, I heard the sound of a plane, just one, he told a British newspaper. I looked up into the sky and saw the B-29, and it dropped 2 parachutes. I was looking up into the sky at them, and suddenly, it was like a flash of magnesium, a great flash in the sky, and I was blown over. By August 9, he had returned home to Nagasaki, only to experience the trauma for a second time. Despite the double radiation exposure, Yamaguchi lived to be 93. He passed away in 2010 from stomach cancer. The connection of Mark Twain and Halley's Comet. Mark Twain, the renowned American writer, was born in 1835, the same year Halley's Comet made an appearance. Twain once famously said, "I came in with Halley's Comet, and I expect to go out with it." True to his words, Twain passed away on April 21, 1910, just one day after the comet's closest approach to Earth. It's a remarkable coincidence that Twain's life coincided with the appearance of the comet, as he predicted. The first and last soldiers killed in World War I are buried next to each other. By the time World War I came to an end, it had claimed an estimated 1 million British lives. Yet somehow, without any planning, the first recorded English casualty of the war, 17-year-old soldier John Parr, and the last recorded casualty, 30-year-old George Edwin Ellison, reportedly have graves that face one another just 15 feet apart in the St. Symphorian Military Cemetery. One man missed 2 Malaysian air flights that crashed. In 2014, there were 2 tragic plane crashes involving Malaysian air flights. The first was shot down over Ukraine, and the second disappeared without a trace somewhere over the Indian Ocean in the greatest aviation mystery of all time. Dutch cyclist Martin de Jong was scheduled to take both flights, but cheated death by bumping his ticket at the 11th hour, when cheaper options became available. And that concludes our exploration of these mind-blowing coincidences. We hope you enjoyed this incredible journey into the realm of the unbelievable. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel.